Hey there, Aries. Welcome to your reading for the week of October 27th. This week, we start off with this card. It says, nothing will come of this situation. You have this card. It says, the energy is gaining momentum. So things are picking up for you here, Aries, at this time, which makes a lot of sense. I do think it's a good little time to recharge your batteries for the next couple months. So that doesn't mean you won't be doing anything, of course, but I would say that finding extra time to enjoy yourself or do things that fulfill you with the Ace of Cups is going to be important because next year you're kind of like off to the races when we start the year, and you're going to need that energy to be able to do the work that you're going to be doing over the next several years. And so, like I said, I would find do anything you possibly can to be able to do that. We start here with a pretty big win, it looks like to me, with the World, the Ace of Cups, and the Nine of Cups coming up in the area of your current general energies. The World, of course, is an achievement or reaching some sort of new heights in your life. A lot of your readings have been kind of like talking about this, Aries, for the past, months maybe at least. But I do think it's a good time for you to focus on, your accomplishments. I also think with the Hermit, you have the World and then you have the Hermit right next to it. Sometimes I feel like the World with the Hermit is like trying to hide your light from the world. I don't think we necessarily do this on purpose or anything like that, Aries, but, sometimes I feel those two cards together, like they're here in this reading, they're encouraging you to like shine your light bright out into the world. You have the Strength card after it as well. The Strength card is about taming your inner voice, your inner demon, your inner critic, whatever you want to call it. And so I definitely feel it's time for a lot of you to kind of like shine your light bright and put yourself out there more and to take up more space and, all that other good stuff. You have the Ace of Cups. Again, the Ace of Cups is about creating that flow in your life. The Ace of Cups can be a love offer, and we do have like a new person showing up at the end, so there definitely could be love coming in for you. Capricorn and the fixed signs really stand out to me. Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, and Leo. So if you're looking for love, it could be, any sign. This is a general reading, but it could be one of those signs for sure. But again, I think the Ace of Cups is trying to get you to get into the flow. I feel like there's something important here about something coming from you. It kind of reminds me of manifesting energy. It's like, when you think about it, when most people talk about manifesting, they are like trying to manifest something external, like something that they think they want or something that they think they need in life. And I think that's why manifestation doesn't work for people, right? I think that, I once heard Eckhart Tolle talk about how manifestation should come through you, as in it should be coming out of you. It's not really, it's kind of like a weird mind effort to think about, Aries, right? But, he believes that we should be kind of like allowing manifestation to happen, which is very different than trying to manifest something, right? And that is the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is in a situation where it can easily reach down into the water below it and fill itself back up. To me, that is like true manifestation when you are just manifesting as almost like a side effect of you being in the flow or you being in an energy where the energy comes from you. And so, a little bit different, right? But I feel that's what this is saying. It's like, it's like maybe a better question for Aries to ask themselves right now is like, what is it that wants to manifest is what I'm trying to reach for here. Like, what is trying to manifest in your life? Now, that might be very, very different than what you are thinking. We even have the Nine of Cups, which is fulfillment. We have to be in fulfillment to get the wish that we're wishing for here. And again, I would ask yourself, what is it that wants to manifest in your life? You might think like, oh, I need these things. I need this material thing. I need money. And, I think if that little bit of a switch here will put you in the right energy. And again, this, the thing I think people need to realize is like when you switch it around like that, I feel you do get money. You do get the things you want, but you're manifesting from, a much better position. And, the Nine of Cups is really about manifesting. It's, a card of being in alignment with what you want. So that's what I would do there. Plus you have that card that says energy is gaining momentum, and manifestation loves momentum. So, there you go. With the World, you have the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, big opportunity for you in the world over the next many years, Aries, for sure. I feel a lot of you have, the more you take care of yourself, the more you take care of good opportunities that come your way, the more successful you will be. So I would definitely keep an eye on your opportunities. I would be like doubling down on your opportunities as well. With the Ace of Cups, you have the the Ace of Cups. So exactly what I was saying. It's like I really do feel that. It's like I feel like this is like should be like a fountain. It's like the water is just coming and going here. It's almost like there should be water flowing up through the bottom. That's how I see it for you. It's like if you could put yourself in that position, you would manifest, things more properly. But I think you need to more think about like what is trying to come out of me. Like we always look for those external answers, like, oh, if I work harder, or, if I get that job, then I'll get the money, but that's like external. But, the reading itself, it's kind of a weird reading, Aries. I don't think I've ever had a reading like this for you, but, it's like more saying that, like, no, the actual, to be cliche here, Aries, the answer is inside of you. It is in you already. Something just needs to come out is kind of what the reading is saying. With the Nine of Cups, you have the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is about taking those steps. There's a little bit of fear at the end of the year here. I really do blame Neptune retrograding in Pisces because I think with Neptune and Pisces, we can't really... It's kind of hard to see where you're going. Speaking of manifestation, it's kind of hard to see your manifestations. But the other thing is that Neptune in Pisces wants us to be inspired. It wants us, if we're just doing things just to make money, then, again, we're going to have a really hard time. If we do things because we're excited, because they inspire us, because they inspire other people, then, things will go really well. But we have to kind of like take those steps. Six of Pentacles is all about planting that first seed, taking that first step towards something. Let's see. Next, I almost forgot what I was doing. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this discus fish card. It says society, vibrancy, and co-parenting. You have this pigeon. It says channeling, home, and gentleness. The interesting thing about discus fish, and I'm a fish nerd, is that they feed their babies with the slime that's on their body. And so, again, another kind of like sign or symbol of something coming from you. It's like the things that you're trying to grow are going to be nurtured by you, or are going to grow because of what you provide, not something external. This is like a very personal reading, is how I would describe it. It is like personal to you. It's like personal to what you're working on or what you're creating, but it's almost like you're creating nutrients for the things in your life that you want to get to grow in your life. And I think that will, be, you're going to have to think about that one, of course. The pigeon, I think that a lot of you, some of you could be moving home, which has come up for you before. I think Jupiter and Cancer for you, Aries definitely could cause like a move. It could cause you to want to create a nicer energy, for a move. If Cancer was a bird, it probably would be the pigeon, right? So there you go. Definitely could be changes in the home. Again, you don't have to move with Jupiter and Cancer, but you can make your home a place like your sanctuary. You can make it a nicer place. You have the Hermit, the Temperance card in the Ace of Pentacles. The Hermit, I feel, is saying you need to shine bright here, Aries. I think the days of you holding back are gone. Not that Aries ever really holds back, but, I think maybe there have been moments where you do hold back or you don't speak up. Again, if you're not doing something for the right reasons, then you are holding back. Like we can do something, we can do something that supports us, but it also might not be from our center. And, when we really think about it, like, are you really doing everything, or are you really doing enough of what you want to be doing every single day of your life? And if the answer is no, then, will life ever be perfect? Of course not. But, can you get it a little bit closer to what you have learned? The Hermit, it's kind of funny because I get the energy of like the universe is tapping its foot a little bit here with the Hermit. It's almost like the Hermit is saying to me, to you, that, it would be worth it to, put a little bit more, it's like you have to put effort into something. I feel like the universe is tapping its foot because it's like saying, you've learned the lessons to move on to your next big thing, is almost what the Hermit is saying to me. It's like, this would be like, staying in college after you've already gotten your degree, that's kind of the feeling I get off this Hermit card. That's like the best way I can describe it. It's like you already have something that, you probably already know what to do next. Like if you were in college, you would know, oh, I have to go apply for jobs, I have to go get a new career or whatever, right? It's like, what that next step is, but maybe you're not doing it, or maybe you're staying in something that is kind of like college, and I feel it's time to move forward. You have the Temperance card. Temperance is patience. It is waiting for things to be perfect sometimes as well. I feel like sometimes he needs to just go down this path and go claim his crown here, Aries. And that's definitely what I feel for you. I'm actually, as a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that I've said that to you before, that it's like time for you to go claim your crown. It's time for you to go get that thing that you are wanting in your life. And I do feel like maybe inspiration has been a little hard, or like feeling excited about life in general has maybe been a little bit hard lately, but I do feel it's getting better. I do feel like you're more excited about new ideas. I mean, you could be feeling that energy this week. I'm recording this video on the 23rd, and so it will be published on the 24th. So maybe you're starting to feel a little bit better this week, whatever this week is, I can't remember, the week of the 20th or whatever. Maybe even, a little bit sooner than the week of the 27th. And I would like double down on that energy and look into what you're feeling motivated to work on. I feel that would be very important for you. And, it might also help you figure out like, what is it that wants to manifest from you instead of the external manifestation, right? You have the Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles can represent a big opportunity. You have it twice in this reading. It's like the opportunity really exists. I really feel the first two rows, at least, the answer is very simple. It's like saying you're looking for something external that already exists, that already comes from you. And so the Ace of Pentacles maybe is an opportunity that you want to get started on, but you might be thinking, I need this, that, or the other thing to get started. And I feel that, when you think about it, again, this discus fish here, they create food for their babies from their own body. It's the slime that's on their body, right? I'm not saying that you should go cover yourself in slime here, or don't create your own slime either, and rub it all over yourself here, Aries. But what I would say is I feel like all the nurturing energy that this Ace of Pentacles needs is you have it inside of you right now. All you have to do is feed it. Next, with the Hermit, you have the Five of Swords. Yeah, it's about taking the risk. Five of Swords can be like separation, walking away from things, winning at all cost, all that other stuff. But really, the Five of Swords is about, it can represent taking a risk, especially with the Hermit. The Hermit, I believe that his next step should be to come down from the mountain. That's not really accurate tarot, although I think it is. I think that really what the Hermit means is that he's finished his journey. He just has to not stay stuck in Hermit mode. He has to come down. He has his inner light. He needs to shine it. And so I feel this is about taking the leap of faith, or taking the risk. With the Temperance card, you have the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, Seven of Pentacles can be waiting for changes. He is a little bit stuck in analysis paralysis sometimes, not always, but sometimes. He's looking at those Seven Pentacles. He's analyzing what he has grown. He's saying, like, is it worth it? Is it not worth it? Did I put enough work into the Seven Pentacles, and, all this other stuff? And, sometimes I think we can look at something too closely for too long, and that can cause some confusion. I do get a little bit of that feeling, not like a lot of that feeling for you here, Aries, but just like a little bit. I'll give you a great example. You're the first reading that I'm doing this morning. It is 9:30. Normally, I am done with my readings by like 8:30. So I'm running a new experiment. And I sat here for, I don't know, like 2 hours just thinking about it, not actually getting started with the readings, not actually starting the experiment or anything like that, right? So, I have a bad habit sometimes of doing this as well, where it's like I come up with an idea and then I just think about it, and never get started, right? So I kind of feel a little bit of that energy on the Seven of Pentacles, and I do feel he's saying, like, you already know what to do. And, the whole reading basically says that. With the Ace of Pentacles, you have the Seven of Cups. Yes, 2 sevens together is internal fears that don't exist right here. So I think I said this over here somewhere, like a little bit of fear energy, or maybe I said it on the Hermit, I can't remember. But I feel a little bit of fear energy in the reading. The 8 of Cups here can also represent, kind of feeling like you don't know what to do when you really do. So with the 8 of Cups, we do have to walk into darkness. Even if we don't know all the details, we don't have to be perfect, we just have to get started. Make sure to like, by the way, and leave a comment. Really helps me out, Aries. But next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Symbiosis card and this Libra card. It says balance on it. Both cards kind of represent balance. Symbiosis is working together in balance. And, the Libra card is your opposite sign. Libra can represent balance, of course. So I feel that you are kind of like balancing your life out. I kind of feel like your days of hard work are over. That doesn't mean you won't be working hard, but not too hard, and I feel that a lot of you need to, I'm not suggesting that you rest on your laurels, but I am saying that, again, you've been to college. It's like you've done that hard work. Now it's time to do the next hard work, whatever, whatever that means. But it probably won't be that hard because you already know what to do. You have the Strength card, the Eight of Cups, and the Moon. Strength is about developing inner strength. She is taming this lion. She is the one that's in control of that lion's inner voice. She is taking control of the lion's inner voice, and she is the one that is deciding what her inner voice tells her to do. And so I think for a lot of you that it would be a good time to take control of your inner voice, right? And your inner, what your inner self is saying to you. It's like I once heard a wise man, I don't remember who it was. I once heard someone say that all thoughts are lies, right? Every thought that you have in your head is basically a lie, because it hasn't happened yet. Like the good thoughts that we have are like, get up out of bed, go brush your teeth, go make yourself food, right? Those are the thoughts that are like the truth. But there's a key thing in that, which is that we go and do those things, right? And so, I don't know, there's like something popping into my head for you with the Strength card that, it's like you might have a lot of thoughts about your future, but, they're basically lies until you actually do something. They don't matter. So all those negative thoughts, all those thoughts that tell you can't do something, they're not true. And I feel it's time to take action on that Ace of Pentacles. You have the Eight of Cups, and the Eight of Cups can be about walking away from things that no longer serve you. He is walking into darkness. He has no clue where he's going, but doesn't matter. He is kind of like walking towards fulfillment, hopefully. He doesn't know that. I always say that you could say that he's walking towards the Eight of Cups, but he doesn't know if he's walking towards the Eight of Cups or the Nine of Cups, sorry. He doesn't know if he's going to find fulfillment or not. He's just choosing not to settle for less. And so this reading is definitely saying, don't settle here, Aries. Next, you have the Moon card. Yeah, the Moon is what everybody will be feeling at the end of the year here with Neptune and Pisces until January. I think Neptune and Pisces makes it hard to see if we're making progress or not. Neptune and Pisces wants us to believe in ourselves more. That's like a big part of it. And so Neptune and Pisces doesn't really give us all the answers, or, it's like we can work towards something, we can make progress, but we can also be unsure about the future at the same time. And, the trick with the Moon is we have to go from here to here. We just have to realize it is a temporary period of time. It is something that will not last. It reminds me of, I talk to a lot of YouTubers, obviously, and YouTube is doing weird stuff nowadays, and YouTubers are all like worried about views going down and things like that. And I say to every single one of them, I'm like, this happens like every couple years. It's like, this is just the natural cycle of what happens. It's like if you just work through it, we'll come out the other side, everything will be fine, and everybody will be back to normal. It's like this happens all the time. And so it's like, what are you worrying about? And I feel like saying that to you, Aries. It's like, there might be a little dip in your life, or there might be a little bit of a cycle, but it's like in the big picture, does it really matter? Probably not, especially if it's a fear. And if it's a fear, it's probably a lie, because it's probably just a thought of a thing that you're worried about. So let's see. With the Strength card, you have the Devil. Yeah, it's like conquering yourself. I do think it is a good time for Aries to work on like any habits that they want to change, or anything that could be stealing your energy, or anything that could be stealing your peace. Working on those things, getting rid of them would be a good idea. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Six of Swords. Yeah, definitely moving towards an improvement for sure. This is almost like confirmation, or major confirmation, that whatever you're choosing to walk away from is going to lead to an improvement, or a better life, or something better. With the Moon, you have the Chariot. There you go. Charging towards success. The Chariot, he is setting himself apart. I said at the beginning of the year that we are entering into a time where everybody should be thinking about setting themselves apart. Especially next year, speaking of Neptune and Saturn in Aries, it's like everybody is going to try to be the same. Mark my words, I've been saying it for years. Neptune in Aries is like we will see people joining cults, stuff like that. And really, Neptune and Aries, again, is somewhat similar to Neptune and Pisces. Not exactly the same, but, it wants us to be an individual. It wants us to, find our own evidence for what we believe. And if you do that, and if you charge in your own direction, then things will go very well. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Hand of Fate card. It says, everything is happening for a reason. Yes. Accept the things to which fate binds you. You have this tricky situation. It says, a sly approach is necessary in order to safely navigate a tricky situation. It's coming up in the good stuff. And, I think this is more saying that you need to keep things to yourself and just let your results speak for themselves, right? There's really nothing that you have to tell anyone. So I would just keep doing what you're doing. You have the Page of Pentacles, the Hangman, and the Eight of Wands. The Page of Pentacles can be like good news or moving in a good direction. Especially if you're starting something new, then I would say this is a very good card for you. I do feel a little bit of communication here as well. So, for those of you looking for love or looking to meet a person, this could definitely be a new person that you're meeting that could be very helpful for you, or could improve your life in some way. So I do feel that here, Aries, that there could be like a solid new connection coming in for you with the Page of Pentacles for those of you that want love. You have the Hangman, again, the whole manifestation thing. He is seeing things from a different perspective. Again, instead of external manifestation, it's like, is this internal? It's like something is trying to come out of you is how I see it. And I think that's a much better place to manifest from, because then you will probably get what you want. Like I said, anytime you ask a person about manifestation, they say things like, oh, I'm going to win the lottery, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that. But it's like, what if instead it's something that comes from, inside of you? Then what happens? I don't know. You will probably exceed your expectations if you do that. So, I think something needs to be flipped around here. I do like to see this in the same row as the Seven of Pentacles, because the Seven of Pentacles, is a change in direction. He needs to see things from a new perspective, and then we have the new perspective, which could be helping you in like work or business or whatever. You have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands can be a quick success or a quick conclusion. Eight of Wands can be charging toward success. And with right next to the Chariot, definitely very good. I'm telling you right now, I think traveling into the unknown with this Moon card, Chariot, Eight of Wands could be exactly what the reading is asking you to do. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is the card of the Wounded Warrior, of course. Nine of Wands can represent putting up boundaries. It can represent trying to protect yourself. But in the area of the good stuff, Nine of Wands can represent kind of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. It can be a card of making sure that you are, experimenting, trying new things. I think all that would be good. With the Hangman, you have the Nine of Cups. Are you kidding? Right next to the Eight of Cups. Definitely walking towards a manifestation here, Aries. And, but again, I think it's an internal one. It will manifest externally, but, I think it's something that you're like creating or working on or whatever you want to call it. The Nine of Cups is really, again, it is about bathing in the energy of what you want. You have to be the thing that you want to be to get it. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Death card. The Death card can represent a death, of course, a transformation, or it can say that you are transforming. I've said it to you before. I definitely feel Aries is like one of the number one signs that is going through a big transformation at this time. It's like by the end of the next couple of years, people probably won't even recognize you. So there you go. Next, you have this funnel. It says, period of frustration, lessons to be learned. I think this is what you're ending. We saw a little bit of this energy with that Seven of Pentacles and the Temperance card. A little bit of a holding pattern. A little bit too much analyzing, but I feel like you're setting yourself free from that. You have the Scissors card. It says, disappointment in some affair. It's like, I feel that it's just the growing up energy. It's like, some people, you leave college, right? You step into the real world and you miss the good old days, right? I think that instead you need to realize that you're creating new memories. You're creating new opportunities to create new things that you enjoy in your life. And it's like, yeah, maybe whatever this learning period is that you've been through, maybe that you have a lot of great memories, but in some ways those memories are very important, but in other ways those, if you were to stay in college forever, that might hold you back a little bit, Aries. You have this chair empty. It says someone is leaving your life. I feel like someone new is entering your life here, Aries. I don't think anyone's leaving at all. To me, this looks like someone new. Like, are you going to meet this person this week? Maybe not. But, I think the energy is kind of going in that direction. You have this light card. It says stepping into new experiences. Probably the most important thing you could do right now. So, there you go. You have this 4-leaf clover. It says great, good fortune on it. Yes, definitely a very good reading. I don't know. It's a weird reading, different. I think it's very different for you, but I do like it. So there you go, Aries. But that looks good. Thank you for being here. Make sure to leave a comment. Really helps me out. And definitely enjoy your week.